Okay, good morning, everyone, or afternoon, depends on when you're watching this, or evening. Professor Cordy here again. We are actually going to finish up the problem solving section of CIS 102. And we're going to do it here with some tools that you may be able to use to help you um, determine if your problem solving is working well or not. Anyways, oh, by the way, that's my grandson back there. I figured I'd put him up there for once. Anywho, we're finishing up the problem-solving book. We move on to the writing book starting next week. But let's go ahead and start with some shares that I want to provide you. First of all, take a look at a week at a glance. Again, starting today, February 24th, and this will all be due on Tuesday, March 2nd. Now, due today, or due yesterday, I should say, or 11:59 p.m., was the problem solving part four, group decision making and problem solving. I will be looking at those in the next day or two and putting your points in. Your grade books are up to date, so make sure that you do have points. If you have a zero, don't delay. Get your points in, or get your assignments in, so we get your points on those. Again, we're going to start problem solving. You're watching the video right now, and this is the only video that you will find in playlist 5. There are other videos on the areas we're talking about, but they're pretty complicated, and I think the book will do just as good of a deal. So we'll just have this one video in playlist 5. We're talking about it, decision support tools, tools that will help you. Most of them are computer based. Okay, now we'll take a quick look at the week at a glance, or the fact sheet, but that's what we're going to be talking about. So let's go ahead. We'll move on. Let me stop the share here, and I will now put up the fact sheet for the week. And here we go. Again, as I mentioned, there are no other videos this week, so this is the only one we've got. Starting with Objective 33, understand decision support systems. Well, there are a number of systems. Most of them, again, are technology or computer based, and some deal with quantitative, meaning numbers. Now, I would say that most data, most decisions, most people, decision makers like quantitative information. They like numbers. You know, if we do this, 75% success rate is possible. Well, that's fairly reasonable. So the numbers play a key role. So Objective 34, we'll be talking about quantitative. We'll be talking about data. Now, what do we mean by data? Again, data is primarily, most people think is numbers. Well, that is typically what we refer to as data. However, data can be other things like, demographic information, okay, race, gender, creed, everything else. So they're not necessarily data. It could be students. It could be freshmen, sophomore, junior, seniors, beyond graduates. So again, we have to look at what we mean by data, and that we're using the term data and the type of data properly. We'll talk about formulas. Now, formulas, what we're talking here, we're not talking about terribly complex formulas. I mean, averaging, mean, median, mode, those are types of formulas that we're using. There are other use formulas that will certainly help you out. 37 here is an interesting one. Now, if you took Excel, there is a what if analysis. And basically, what if analysis kind of helps you determine what will happen, what if, in the future. And if you're using Excel, there is a variable that you can change. An example might be, well, this year we made so much based on delivery charges, and our delivery charge is, oh, let's say $5 per delivery. Okay. Now, an example might be, well, what if we increase that to $6? Okay, how much of an impact will it have on the bottom line? Or what if we reduce it to $4.50? Will it affect the bottom line? Will it increase potential sales and whatnot? So it's a variable that can be applied and used to see, like the term says, what if? So that we'll have an example of what if analysis. Weighing factors. Now, weighing factors means not how much it weighs, 150 pounds or whatever, but the variable. How much of a weight factor is this variable, or is this piece of data have greater impact than other pieces of data? So that's what we mean by weighing, is the degree of impact. Creating a decision tree, it's kind of like Venn or diagramming out. If this happens, then we'll go here. And if this doesn't happen, then we'll go in this direction. But it'll help you with that. And then using graphics to display your data. We're basically talking about charts and graphs and whatnot, simply because if you think about it, we are a visual oriented species, for lack of a better term. Now, reading is something that came along after the fact. If you're into anthropology and cavemen and cavewomen and all that good stuff, and you look at the cave walls, there's not paragraphs of information. There's pictures, and graphs are nothing more than pictures that represent something. And sometimes they are easier to understand than looking at numbers. So we'll talk about objective 40 using graphs. So way to get these all done, again, you can upload each objective individually or upload them all at one time, but get them in by 11:59 p.m. on March 2nd. Okay. All right, I'm gonna stop this share, and I think I have one more share for you, if my memory is correct. Um, yes, let's go into the course site. I just want to show you that everything you need to know is in the assignment section. Problem solving, decision making, part 5. Here is the fact sheet we just looked at. And these are all of the data points that you will need. Okay, your objective worksheets, and then some of the additionals, what if, factoring, graphics, and so on. Okay, alrighty. Well, let me stop the share. I guess that covers it for now. If you have questions, but as always, please let me know. I'll be glad to answer those by email or whatever the case might be. And have a good week. And I will talk to you. Well, Roman and myself will talk to you later. Take care. Bye bye.